Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. This is CJ Schifer here. I have a really important video today for you guys. It has to do with 9/11 and something that could be upcoming very soon. And I've done a lot of research and I'm just going to show you my findings and try to make sense of it all. And maybe you will also make sense of it as well. Okay, so here we go. Yesterday I was looking up Steve Quayle's website. It's www.stevequayle.com. And I came across this headline. Now you can go into the archives and see this headline. It was posted on 9/18. Okay. Kansas request for crisis actors, September 24th, 2022, false flag event, question mark. Now, I decided to look it up. But before I show you that, I want to show you this day, September 24th, 2022, both Derek Curry and Zachary K. Hubbard. Okay, they both believe that something is going to happen on September the 24th, 2022, because of the numbers, because of the gematria with it. Okay, so it's just kind of interesting. And I know Zachary K. Hubbard, Gematria Effect News 24 and 25 on YouTube. He is always doing events, like, you know what, like 9/11. He was there. He was in New York City, 9/11, 2022. With his blowhorn and everything, and he did an awesome job. But he's always doing commentary on school shootings and how gematria and date calculations have everything to do with these events. So let me just go ahead and show you this then. Now, a person on Telegram, Karen N, reposted this with this wording here: some type of false event happening on September 24th. Okay, but the flyer originated from Keith Jeffers. Okay, of Jefferson County Emergency Management. See, there's his name, Keith Jeffers, right there. Okay, he has an email address and so on. Okay, volunteers needed for mass casualty exercise. For mass casualty, it just makes me nervous, okay? For Saturday, September 24th, 2022, from 7 a.m. to noon, Oskaloosa Fire Station, which is on 508 Jefferson Street, Oskaloosa, Kansas. Now look at that number, 66066. All right, now the wording is a little weird, and the pictures, to me, they kind of bother me, okay? So you got people laying on the ground, you know what I mean? It's just like, okay. So here's the wording. We need 50 volunteers to act as persons injured from a natural disaster or wildfire, okay? Natural disaster or wildfire. Victims will be given an injury card, and first responders will triage and sort the victims for response training. Some role players are also needed to play victims at each of the Jefferson County long-term care facilities located in Oskaloosa, Meriden, Valley Falls, Nortonville, and Winchester. Now remember Winchester, because I have something very important to link to this. Winchester, okay? Please contact Keith Jeffers, sign up by September 20th. Let me know if you have any questions or special needs. All ages, now I thought this was interesting. All ages are welcome over the age of 10, please. Do you remember when the pandemic started? Do you remember that children under 10 years old had nothing to worry about? Nothing to worry about? Okay? I just thought that was interesting. Probably means nothing, but it may. All right, if you would like to be one of the nursing home victim role players, let me also know. All right. Role players will need to be at the Oskaloosa Fire Station or the nursing home that you will play at no later than 7:30 that Saturday morning. Now remember, numbers are important. So we have 50 volunteers, 508 Jefferson Street, 66066 is the zip code, from 7 to noon on September 24th. All right. 10 years old. 10 years old. Okay. So that's it for this page. So let's go on to the next, which I wanted to show you. But like I said, remember this, Winchester. That's a city in Jefferson County. Remember Jefferson County as well, for later. Now on Steve Quayle's site, also yesterday, 9/18, and that's Steve Quayle, www.stevequayle.com. He is a Christian kind of, he does news headlines all the time. So I came across this one as well. All right, so ATF, ammunition stolen from shipping containers in North Carolina. And the ATF warns that those who stole them are selling them to federal firearms licensees in the area. Okay, so ammunition was stolen from North Carolina. You see that? Ammunition was stolen from shipping containers in North Carolina. And I'll tell you the cities in just a minute. And here is the headline. So this is the link that I clicked. It was Channel 3 in North Carolina. So the ATF warns, I'm reading from here, the ATF warns that those responsible for the thefts might try to sell the ammunition to federal firearms licensees in the area. Okay, North Carolina. Federal officials say large amounts Large amounts of ammunition were stolen recently from freight line shipping containers in North Carolina. News outlets report that the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, alerted firearms dealers that a sizable amount of Winchester, do you see that? Winchester, this is how they cue you in on stuff. Winchester 9mm ammunition was taken from containers in Wilmington, Raleigh, and Durham. 3 different locations. Now, Wilmington, I believe, is very close to the coast. And then Raleigh and Durham, yes, Raleigh and Durham are more close to each other, but Wilmington is close to the Atlantic Ocean. So it was a coordinated effort. And they said that they saw 2 vehicles leaving one of the areas. I don't know. You'll have to. I'm going to add all of the links to these in the description box so that you can just click on them and view them yourself. Okay, but it says the ATF warns that those responsible for the thefts might try to sell the ammunition to federal firearms licensees in the area. Now, I kind of don't understand that language. People who are licensed to federally? I mean, what is that? Is this anarchy? I don't understand what that language is. So, anyhow, but it's the specific Winchester 9mm ammunition, and a lot of it. So, what are they doing? Just bringing you back really quickly to this this drill in Winchester. Winchester, Kansas was named after Winchester, Virginia. Now, Winchester, Kansas is this teeny tiny itty bitty little town. Winchester, Virginia is a larger town. And I thought I needed to make note of that. And Winchester, Virginia was named after Winchester, England. Now, remember, England has something to do with this, okay? Remember, England is going to have something to do with this. Now, all right, so I saw those 2, and then I saw this that morning as well, okay? Now, she has 38,000 subscribers. I assume her dreams come true, because if this is what the kind of content she's posting, and she has 38,000 subscribers, I would assume she's trusted. I mean, it had 16,000 views. I would assume she's trusted. But her channel is called Midnight Hour Oil. I've subscribed to it. If you would subscribe to her channel and click the notification bell, she seems to post quite a bit. And you might want to read through the comments. You know, that's always interesting. So she had warning dreams, message of coming 9/11 event, and Vera's warning. Vera is her friend. Now, I'm going to tell you what she said about her she had it on 9/11, and she calls it a warning dream. She said it was on 9/11, and it was about a coming 9/11 event, okay? So this lady right here, I actually don't know her name, but for the channel Midnight Hour Oil, she said the U.S. is going to be hit with another 9/11 event before the end of the month, meaning September. Now, we're in the last 10 days of this month, and if what Zachary K. Hubbard said, and Derek Takuri saying on the 24th, something's going to happen, I want you to check out this. I am going to put this link to her YouTube, this specific video. And if you want to check out her dream, it's on marker 138, okay? And then Vera's dream, and it's a 9-minute video. It's 9 minutes and 9 seconds, okay? So I want you to check it out. Okay, so in this dream, she said, and I quote, looking out onto this hillside. She was looking out onto this hillside. It will be different and more out in a rural area. Okay? So it's not going to be like how 9/11 was. It's going to be in a rural area, okay? Now, I came across some information. I was searching up 9/11. And 9/11, when it happened, 2,996 people died. And that is including the terrorist, which were 19 of them, okay? Not including the terrorist, it was 2,977, I believe, right? Okay. Now, this number includes the World Trade Center, which was the majority of the people who passed away, which is 2,753 people, okay? The Pentagon lost 184 people. And in Pennsylvania, they lost 40 people. Now, I kind of laughed, and I didn't mean to laugh at the loss of life, no. But in Pennsylvania, the plane went down in a place called Shanksville, I think it was called Shanksville. Now, it was named after a person, Shanksville was named after a person with the last name Shank. Now, Shank is a prison term for a knife, okay, right? Okay, so this 9/11 event, it's going to be different. Looking out on a hillside, okay? This will be different and more out in a rural area, okay? I do want to say that in Shanksville, That was Flight 93. I'm sure there's a movie on that, right? Flight 93. And you're not going to believe this, okay? You guys probably already knew all this, but it was a Boeing 757, now get this, dash 222. 757-222, Flight 93. And I think that the numerology or date calculations, or however you want to call it, for September 24th, 2022, Zachary K. Hubbard and Derek DeCurry are talking about the number 39, how that's significant, and that's why they're guessing September 24th, there's something coming. Okay? And this brings me to my fourth point. Okay, I have 4 points. 4 random things that I was looking at that connect together. And I really feel that Netflix is predicting events. Maybe not necessarily predicting them, but I feel that Netflix knows stuff. Because all of a sudden they're pushing movies in front of your face, like this movie, Worth, which is a fantastic movie, by the way. And of course, during September, the month of September, you're always going to see movies on 9/11, right? About 9/11. So I watched the movie, and when I watched the movie, I started getting blown away. Okay? So I'm just going to read this to you real quick, okay? The movie Worth, made in 2020, it released on September the 3rd, 2021. Remember that day, September the 3rd, 2021, in the US. It released on Sundance like a year and a half prior, on January 24th, 2020. Okay? An attorney in Washington, D.C. battles against cynicism, bureaucracy, and politics to help the victims of 9/11. This is a true account of this person. Okay? Following the horrific 2001 attacks on the World Trade Center and Pentagon, Congress appoints attorney and renowned mediator Kenneth Feinberg, portrayed by Michael Keaton, to lead the September 11th Victim Compensation Fund. Assigned with allocating financial resources to the victims of the tragedy, Feinberg and his firm's head of operations, Camille Biros, played by Amy Ryan, face the impossible task of determining the worth, I gotta circle this, the worth of a life. Does that remind you of something? Does that remind you of the papal bulls and you don't own your soul? Catholic Church does. Okay, so the worth of a life, to help the families who had suffered incalculable losses. See, that's an oxymoron. What's a life worth, but it's incalculable? You know what I'm saying? When Feinberg locks horns with Charles Wolfe, played by Stanley Tucci, a community organizer mourning the death of his wife, his initial cynicism turns to compassion as he begins to learn the true human costs of the tragedy. Now, within 3 minutes of this movie is 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 47 seconds long. Do you see the 815 there? 8815, right? Okay. That is a Jesuit number, August 15th. Okay. Jesuit is connected to Freemasonry, Catholic Church. Okay. So within 3 minutes, so at the 156 mark, 156, within 3 minutes, 1 hour, 56 minutes, within 3 minutes of this movie, they already tell you the plot. They already tell you what this movie's about. And this movie is about this: what is life worth? Okay? So he's teaching a class, Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton's teaching this class at one of these Ivy League schools. I think it was Harvard. I don't know. One of these Ivy League schools, okay? Portraying Kenneth Feinberg. Now, Kenneth Feinberg, right now, he is age 76. He was born on October the 23rd, 1945. Look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a trip. I just realized that right now. Oh, and there's a 0 there too. 10, 23, 45. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And he is 76, 6, 7. The only thing you're missing is an 8. Because you have a 19, right? 19 and then 9, 1, 1. Yep. All right. So anyhow, he's 76 years old. He's a real guy. And within 3 minutes of this movie, he asked that question to his class. And he picks on this young man, and he calls him Mr. Barron. Mr. Barron. Barron. Played by a young man named Logan, what is his last name? Hart. Logan Hart plays Mr. Barron, who is the young man, the student in the class, okay? So, Mr. Barron, where are you from? He asks. And he says, I was raised in Wichita. Watch this, okay? I was raised in Wichita, okay? Wichita, Kansas, okay? All right, and so Keaton, excitedly says, Kansas. He kind of finishes his sentence there. Kansas. Farm boy, he says, of Mr. Barron, all right? And he sets up this scenario where the farm boy died, or the farm boy's father died. And because he got injured from a caterpillar Columbine. Columbine, okay? Now, I think this is a play on words, you guys. I think we might be looking at another Columbine event, but I will be going over that in just a minute. I have other pictures to show you, okay? Okay, so now Kenneth Feinberg, he ended up, and this is he was called Special Master, okay, Special Master for the Victim Compensation Fund, okay? So that means that his job was to get money to these people. His job was to find out, with this situation, okay, with the compensation fund, his job was to find out how much people are worth. He did interviews to find out how much they're worth, how much they thought they're worth, okay? And he was cynical, you know, it's just like narcissistic, cynical. But he does turn compassionate, you know, whenever it is a movie. So at the end of the movie, they give the statistics, and basically they give roughly 7.375. Now remember these numbers, $7.375 billion. Now I always look at numbers, and that's my birthday right there, you guys. My birthday is July 30th, 1975, and I'm 47 years old. Okay. So that amount, 7.375 billion, was given out to roughly 5,560 people. Only 94 people declined. 94. Now, you remember that 94? Prince Philip died on April the 9th, okay? So remember how I said England has something to do with this, okay? So 55 and 60, remember those numbers. Just remember my birthday there, okay? All right, so that is roughly, if you do the calculations, so 5,560 people were compensated. 94 people they didn't want it. They refused it. Now 5,560 people, that's roughly the families, right? The families that received money from the 2,977 lives lost, and that's not including the 19 terrorists, okay? So roughly all these people here, 5560, got $1,300,000. Okay, that is the number that Kenneth Feinberg determined a human life is worth. $1,300,000. And I will have you know that it's 97% of the people took that money, took the compensation. 97. 97, that's a big number this year, 97. On my calendar, 97222. That's one of my numbers, 97222. I'll show you that actually right now. On the 12th of September, this is Monday, we had 97222. See that? Whereas normally it's 97211. Now, remember this number here, and remember these, 97211, 927. I'm going to show you right now. Oh, by the way, this is today, right? The 20th. It's the 263rd day of the year, leaving 102 days left in the year. Okay, the inverse date is 4/12. It's a 71 day. And we have 8, 6, 3, and 9. Okay, our Jewish day is Adar 24. Okay, so I'm going to show you something with this Worth movie. Just a moment. Actually, I couldn't take a picture. Netflix doesn't let you take a picture, but on the chalkboard behind Michael Keaton, within 3 minutes of the movie now remember the movie is 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 47 seconds long. Okay? At the 1 hour, 56 mark, you will see a chalkboard behind him, Michael Keaton. And on the chalkboard, it has this written, 9:27. And then it has this. So it has 9/27. And then it has 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, when I saw that, I just about freaked out because remember how I said the movie is 1 hour, 58 minutes long? I am 47, okay? August 15th, Jesuit Freemason, big day. Guess what is also a big day? 9/27. Okay? Now 9/27 also is the last day of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year. Okay? So we're turning from 5782 to 5783, from sundown 9:25 to sundown 9:27. So this is the new year for Israel. Okay? Now Israel and the Cabal, they're the ones who started gematria. So it's good to pay attention to this kind of thing. All right, so I started thinking about this, the 927, and I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a YouTuber called Enter the Stars. His name is Casey Brown, and he sees all kinds of stuff in movies. But when I saw that blatant like that, 927, 1, 2, 3, I said, okay, I'm digging. And because he mentioned Kansas, Wichita, okay, and he also mentioned the grain sorghum, okay, sorghum. All right, so I'm going to move on to the next subject, but I'm going to loop back around this because this movie was full of hints as to what could be happening in our next event. And of course, the Midnight Hour Oil YouTube channel, okay, when she said the U.S. is going to be hit with another 9/11 event before the end of the month, I think we better start paying attention, you guys. So let's add this all up together. Let's figure it out. Let's warn people. Okay, so I'm going to expand a little bit more on this movie called Worth, made in 2020. This is Michael Keaton. He is going to be in the upcoming movie Flash, and he's playing Batman, okay? He's Batman. Everybody always remembers him as Batman. And Flash is coming out on 6/23/2023. 6/23/2023. Now, there is another link to this number. It's somebody's birthday, and I'll have to find it on my page here, but let's ignore that for now. Okay, I have to say, I forgot to tell you. Okay, so there was another student. Her name was Miss Chen, I believe. Oops. Miss Chen was another student that was part of the farm boy scenario where the father got killed, and Miss Chen is representing or something like that. So Michael Keaton's character, Kenneth Feinberg, asked her, what do you think a human life is worth? And she said, I don't know, $2 million. And then he asked Mr. Patel, another student, Mr. Patel, what is a human life worth? He said, oh, $3 million. And then so Kenneth Feinberg asked Miss Chen, okay, Miss Chen, what do you think about $3 million? And she said, well, how about $2.7 million? That's what a human life is worth. And Mr. Patel says, deal. And they're all laughing, cutting it up. Okay. Now he was saying all this. So this was something that was on his mind, I guess, when he was teaching this class, because 9/11 had not happened. So maybe he was given a hint that it was going to happen. And so he was already crunching numbers. So they threw out a number and just accepted it as such. $2.7 million, two attorneys representing each side. The man who died, their side, and then Caterpillar side, or, Caterpillar brand, Columbine, grain, vehicles, right? $2.7 million. That's what they decided a life is worth. A life. Okay? They were laughing, cutting up about it, okay? So, all right, I'm just going to go a little bit more into Michael Keaton, but don't you think 2.7 is a bit of an interesting number? Especially because 9/27 was on the chalkboard. And then 1, 2, 3, and Kenneth Feinberg's birthday is 10/23. Don't you guys see this? Something is going to happen on the 27th. And it may start on the 24th, which is the eve of Rosh Hashanah, the Jewish New Year, which will be changing to 5783. Now, Michael Keaton, he's Batman. He also played Ray Kroc, right? Ray Kroc in that movie about McDonald's, and how Ray Kroc stole from the McDonald brothers their business, and how McDonald's is actually just a real estate corporation. You go there and you buy food there, but they own the property. So they're real estate. That's what Ray Kroc said. So Michael Keaton's real name, I don't know where he got the name Keaton. His real name is Michael John, now get ready for this because I'm going to go on a rabbit trail, Douglas. Ring a bell? Michael Douglas? Does that ring a bell to you guys? Well, Michael Keaton is 71 years old, and he was born September 5th, 1951. You're going to see a lot of September birthdays right about now. Okay, September 5th, 1951, 71. And even today has 71 date calculations. You see that? Now, Michael Keaton was born in Coraopolis, Pennsylvania. Now, where did Flight 93 land? 93. It landed in Pennsylvania, in Shanksville, and 40 people died because they tried to overtake the plane. Flight 93 was en route from Newark, New Jersey, to San Francisco, California. But when the terrorists took the plane, they took the plane, right? They took the plane and they averted it back, and they were taking it back to D.C. to hit the Capitol building. Okay? So, I don't know if you recognize this couple, but this is Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas. Okay, so Michael Keaton's real name is Michael Douglas. Now, this Michael Douglas is Michael Kirk Douglas. He was named after his father, Kirk Douglas. And Kirk Douglas died not too long ago. He lived for a good long while. Now, get this. Okay, Kirk Douglas is 77. He had tongue cancer. And he's still alive. He's still doing okay, you know. And then Catherine Zeta-Jones, she is 52 years old. Now, Catherine Zeta-Jones, she has an honor from England. She was born in the UK. She was born in Wales. She was born in Swansea, I don't know, Wales, UK. She is a Welsh actress, though. She's Welsh in descent. But she has, and see, do you see this? She's 52. He is 77. That is a 25-year difference. Now, when did she become queen? Queen Elizabeth became queen at the age of 25 on 6/2/1952. Do you see that? 52 and 25. There's a correlation here. Okay, Catherine Zeta-Jones is 52. She's 25 years younger than 77-year-old Michael Douglas. Now I'm going to tell you something. This is going to get even weirder right now. They have the same exact birthday. September 25th, you guys. 25. She was born in 1969. He was born 25 years later, or 25 years before, in 1944. How old was the queen when she died? She was 96. Okay, so 25 is huge. 25 is huge. There is a correlation. You wouldn't believe who introduced these two. It was Danny DeVito. Danny DeVito from that movie Twins. Remember him and Arnold Schwarzenegger? And Arnold Schwarzenegger has the same birthday as me, 7/30. And he was born in 48, I believe. They were introduced by Danny DeVito. Oh, but I wanted to show you that Catherine Zeta-Jones, she has an honor. She is CBE. She has a title, which means Commander of the Order of the British Empire. Okay, so she's important. All right, so of course she has these queen connections, right? Now, I do have to say that Danny DeVito, I did a little tiny bit of research on him. Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman, they're separated, but he was born in Neptune Township of New Jersey. Neptune Township of New Jersey. Anyway, so Danny DeVito introduced them, and they were married on November 18th of 2000. So that was 10 months. Roughly 10 months from 9/11. Okay? And actually, if you add this together, that's a 9. 1 and an 8 is a 9. There you go, 9/11. Okay? Well, we know that Catherine Zeta-Jones was born in Wales, UK, right? Wales, UK. But Michael Douglas was also born in New Jersey, just like Danny DeVito, but New Brunswick, New Jersey. Okay? Now, going off on a little bit of a different subject, but the same subject. A man by the name of Michael Heaton, with an H. He was Cleveland, Ohio's Minister of Culture. I don't even know what that is, but I like it. I like the title, okay? But what's interesting is Michael's sister is Patricia Heaton, the actress, Patricia Heaton. Everybody loves Raymond, with Ray Romano. Patricia Heaton. Now, she is a Christian. She's a Christian actress. She was born in Cleveland, Ohio, okay? She was born on 3/4/1958. And Patricia is 64 years old, okay? Now, this man, Michael Heaton, was 66 years old. Do you remember the zip code I told you? 66066 for that Kansas, Jefferson County, Kansas, Oskaloosa. 66066 on Jefferson Drive in Jefferson County, 508 Jefferson, right? Lots of sixes there. Anyway, he died on a couple days ago. Let's see here. Yeah, he died a couple days ago But I wanted to show you something. You know, Michael Heaton, it's very close to Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton, his real last name is not Keaton. His real last name is Douglas, okay? Now, I just thought this was interesting that this man died, and it just kind of added to all this. But what I got out of this is that Heaton, if you split this word up, Heaton, it's like heat and then on. The heat is on. The heat is on. And I thought I'd take a shot in the dark that maybe there is going to be some sort of revenge for the Roe v. Wade overturn. Okay. And I've done a little bit of research on that, and I'm going to show you that in just a few. But I wanted to show you what kind of, also I was thinking about with this movie Worth, with this man Feinberg, Kenneth Feinberg, an attorney with the same name just died recently. His name was Ken Starr. He was famous. Ken Starr. Okay. Ken Starr was a prosecuting attorney for the Bill Clinton affair trial. Okay. Ken Starr died 1 week ago today. Ken Starr died on 9/13/2022. When did Everybody Loves Raymond? Everybody Loves Raymond, okay? When did that air? On 9/13/1996. 1996. How many years ago was that? Oh, I don't know. Let's see here. 1996. But before, that was 26 years ago, you guys. 26 years ago. And when was the Queen's coronation? On 2/6. And when was the Queen born? 4/21/1926. You see that? 2 and 1 is 3, right? And then you have your 4. Well, when's Patricia Heaton's birthday? Her birthday is 3/4/1958. Okay, so Heaton, the heat is on. So with Ken Starr's death, Michael Heaton's death, I wanted to show you Kenneth Starr. His actual name was Kenneth Winston Starr. Winston. Now, there's a place in North Carolina. Do you remember North Carolina? That's where the ammo, the Winchester ammo, 9mm ammo got stolen from. There's a place called Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And they call that the Twin City because of its dual name. Now, anything that has to do with the 9/11 event that's going to be coming, you think of the twins. Twin Towers. Twin. And I want to tell you that that movie Worth, another famous character in it is Stanley Tucci. Now, he is a junior. That means his father was also Stanley Tucci. And Stanley Tucci was born on 11/11, 1960. Okay? He is 61 years old. Right now, 61. Stanley Tucci also has twins. He has twins. His wife died. He had an affair on her and he went back to her, but his wife died, I believe, in 2010. And now he is married to Emily Blunt's sister, Felicity Blunt. So John Krasinski, who was born on 10/20, John Krasinski is his brother-in-law. Emily Blunt is his sister-in-law. Felicity Blunt is the older sister. And they probably have a really big age difference too, maybe 25 years as well. So, with the Bill Clinton affair, and Ken Starr, by the way, was 76 years old. And you know what? I'm going to look and see what a 76 day. Okay, the 76th day is the 25th. See the 76? Then you have your 77, and the 27th is 78. Now, the Queen died at age 96. Okay? And that is the first day of the new year, 5783. Okay? On the 26th. That was her coronation, 2/6/1952. Okay? But the 76th day, look at this, 7447. It's like July 4th. Okay, and there's your 97 also. All right. Well, I also wanted to show you, this is another Netflix. And it's called The Devil in Ohio. And it's a series, and it just came out. And there's a 67 marker. Okay, it just came out. I had to reverse the picture because I don't want to get copyrighted or whatever. But, so it just came out September 3rd, I believe. And anyhow, so we have Cleveland, Ohio coming up, you guys. Cleveland, Ohio, Patricia, the heat is on. Patricia Heaton, the heat is on. Right? The Devil in Ohio. Netflix likes to hint at us what's about to happen. a good example of this would be, okay, a good example of this would be on Netflix before James Caan died. No, not James Caan. It was right before one of those, Ray Liotta. Before Ray Liotta died, there were all kinds of movies on Netflix about him. Anthony Mackie, his birthday is on, let's see here. Anthony Mackie's birthday is on, right there. He's going to be 44. It's on the 23rd. On the 23rd. Oh, look at that. It's a 4-9 inverse day. Right there, 4-9. Okay. Now, Anthony Mackie, he's been in a lot of Netflix movies lately, and they're probably honoring him for his birthday coming up, but he's also in Captain America, right? Now, Captain America, I would assume out of all the Marvels, he's the most patriotic, right? So, Anthony Mackie, we have him coming up, right? On his birthday. So, Netflix kind of like starts to pre-honor people, you know, before their deaths and so forth. And I don't know, I just kind of find it bizarre. Like, I watched Goodfellas, and then all of a sudden Ray Liotta's dead, okay? So that's why I'm kind of stuck on Ray Liotta right now. So, I'm saying this because they have that movie that's out, not the movie, it's a series, it has episodes, Netflix, Devil in Ohio, and it's said to be out of Kirtland, Ohio, okay? And the mile marker is 67. There's a lot of 76, 67s going around. I wanted to let you guys know I'm going to be doing a Queen decode, and between Queen Elizabeth's birth, live birth, of 4/21/1926, and Prince Philip's birth, which was 6/10/1921. You're not going to believe this. It was exactly 1,776 days, 1776. So you can see how this day, the 25, remember, she was 25 when she became queen, and 4/7, how she's linked to Independence Day of America, 4/7 and 7/4, right? Okay, and she died on 9/8 this year. She died on 9/8, right up here. Jupiter. Okay. Now remember how I told you Flash is coming out on 6/23/13? Well, there was a movie called The Heat. The Heat. Now I was trying to search up, The Heat is on, kind of like that song, Glenn Frey, The Heat is on. Right? It's on the street, that one. And that song, The Heat is on. Well, I'm just going to put this real quick. The Heat is on. That came out in December 30th of 1984, and it was the hottest day, I believe, in New York City. Let's see. It was the hottest day of December of the winter. So December 30th, 1, 2, 3, look at this. 1, 2, 3, remember? 1984, and it was 73 degrees. Remember I told you about 73? Okay. And 73.0 degrees Fahrenheit. That's my birthday, 7:30. It's also Arnold Schwarzenegger's birthday. This is all going to come around full circle, and I'll show you. But, so I wanted to show you, okay, so 6/23/23, The Flash is coming out, Flash, with Michael Keaton as Batman, right? And then this movie called The Heat came out on 6/23/13. And, let's see here. It was with Sandra Bullock and Melissa McCarthy, and it was a comedy. So I don't know if that has anything to do with anything, but I sure hope they don't try to make a comedy out of our suffering. Okay? Okay, back to the movie Worth for just a minute. Kenneth Feinberg, when he was walking out of class that day after he had his, what is a person worth? And they found out that a person, they just took a guess, is worth $2.7 million. That's what a human being is worth. That's how much a human being can be compensated for mass terrorism. That's the cap. They're deciding the cap. Okay? So, he makes a snarky remark, Feinberg makes a snarky remark about Chief Justice, Supreme Court Justice, William Rehnquist. Now, William Rehnquist, he was the 16th. He was the 16th Chief Justice. And he served for 33 years. Okay? You're not going to believe when he died. And the snarky remark that he made, he said, well, you know what? I heard that Judge Rehnquist is looking a little pale. You know, I heard recently that King Charles said that he was related to Vladimir the Impaler. The Impaler, pale. See, there's always a play of words in these wag the dog political realities that we live in. Our true president is probably Christopher Nolan or Stephen King, or, you know what I'm saying? These people, these producers, these directors, they really run things. If you've ever seen the movie, or if you haven't seen the movie Wag the Dog, it'll give you a new perspective. That's with De Niro and Dustin Hoffman and Anne Heche, actually. Anne Heche, who just died, who just got killed for her organs, so her organs can be harvested. Gosh. Anyhow, so Kenneth Weinberg said, "Oh, Rehnquist is looking a little pale. Well, Rehnquist, he was born on 10/1/1954. No, wait, 1924. And he died on 9/3/2005 at the age of 80. He was a Republican justice. Okay? He's buried at Arlington, Virginia National Cemetery, okay? Guess when this movie came out? This movie Worth? It debuted on 9/3/2021. Do you see that? And guess how long Chief Justice Rehnquist served for? He served from 9/26 of 86 to 9/3 of 05 when he died. Look at that, 9/26. So they make this movie and they release it on the anniversary of his death. They must have hated him. Anniversary on the 16th anniversary of his death. Chief Justice Rehnquist. 16 years later, and he was the 16th Supreme Court Justice. Do you think that we're making this? I mean, this is not made up. Guess what his middle name was? It was William Hubbs, Hubbs, Rehnquist. Recently, one of the articles that I was looking at today regarding this whole thing, the last name was Hubbs. I'm telling you, they handpick people for their plots, their narratives, their movies. We're in one big movie all the time. Now, this is actually, I don't know if this is coincidental, but Glenn Frey, who sang that song, okay, Glenn Frey, The Heat Is On, okay, I don't know if this is coincidental, but he died, okay, Glenn Frey was born on 11/6/1948. He died on 1/18/2016. He was 67. There's that 67 again. Okay? When did this movie come out? On 9/3. But it was 16 years later. And guess how many minutes long it was? 16 years later after Rehnquist died, right? So Glenn Frey died on 1/18/2016. And 16 years after Rehnquist died on 9/3/2005, this movie Worth was released. And guess how many minutes long it is? 118 minutes long. They do this on purpose. They will cut a movie in order for it to fit a number narrative. Oh, by the way, remember on the chalkboard it said 9/27 and then it had 1, 2, 3. Now that movie The Heat Is On is December 30th. Look, that's 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1984. You know, that's a big year. Orwellian, you know. Chaos, right, in our world. Okay, I actually have to stay on this page a little bit longer. I'm sorry. But, okay, so Chief Justice Rehnquist. Okay, Chief Justice Rehnquist. He was born on 10/1/1924. Well, I swear this movie Worth was all taking a jab at the Supreme Court Justice that was, Republican. Okay, served for 33 years. Born 10/1/1924. Died on 9/3/2005. The movie came out 9/3/2021. Now, you remember the chalkboard. The chalkboard said 9/27, 1, 2, 3. Now, that song, 1, 2, 3, by Len Barry. 1, 2, 3. Okay, this is the lyrics, okay? That's how elementary it's gonna be. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's how elementary it's gonna be. It's so easy, like taking candy from a baby. 1 and 1 are 2. Okay, now Len Barry. I mean, it sounds like a simple song, but you know what? You know when that song came out, and it's called 1, 2, 3. It came out on 10/1/1965. Rehnquist was 41 years old on 10/1/1965. On the day that song came out, 1, 2, 3. Rehnquist turned 41 years old. Okay, now the lyrics of the song sound simple enough. 1, 2, 3. Oh, how elementary. Now, what kind of mass exercise, other than national disaster or fire, would people be dropping on the ground? Would it be for, say, a mass shooting? A school shooting? Now, this song, elementary, it's all pointing to it's easy, like taking candy from a baby. 1 and 1 are 2. 1 plus 1. Okay, that's like Twin Towers. 1 and 1 are 2. 11, right? And when was Rehnquist born? 10/1/1924. 1 and 1, that's 2, right? If you add 10 plus 1, it's 11, and 1 and 1 are 2. Okay? So, this song is not simple. It's not a simple song. He was born, okay, this guy, Len Barry, who sang that song, 1, 2, 3, okay? Like taking candy from a baby, it's how elementary it's going to be. Okay? He was born in Pennsylvania. He was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and died in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. He died on this day. Now, this is just, it's just getting, I know it seems like it's getting very convoluted, but he died on this day. You're not going to believe it. You're not going to believe this. Okay, so he was born on 6/12, 1942. He died at the age of 78 on 11/5/2020. Okay? Now, do you guys know what 11/5 is? November 5th? November 5th is this. Remember the 5th of November. The 5th of November is Guy Fawkes Day. Okay? Guy Fawkes failed to blow up the Houses of Parliament. And that was 416 years ago. 416 years ago, 416. If you read that backwards, it's President Trump's birthday of June 14th, 416. Okay? Now, Guy Fawkes Day, that poem, Remember the 5th of November, that has been used in horror movies. And the movie V for Vendetta, okay? V for Vendetta. Now, Guy Fawkes was a Catholic guy. V for Vendetta, the one that was V who wore the mask. It's a very French-looking mask. You know, that French-looking Q kind of mask, right? It was Hugo Weaving. Hugo Weaving, okay? Now, Hugo Weaving, he played Agent Smith on that movie, The Matrix. Okay? So, V for Vendetta, Remember the 5th of November. That movie, they wanted that movie to come out on 11/4/2005. V for Vendetta. But something happened. But they wanted it to come out on November 4th, 2005, so it would be exactly 400 years since Guy Fawkes Day. All right? And they're all about wearing these masks, okay? Now, I don't know if you guys will remember this name, but Robert Englund. Robert Englund. Not like the country, but England. Guess who he played? He played Freddy Krueger. Now, Freddy Krueger was supposed to be a child molester, but they actually made him into a child killer with the knives glove. And guess what? Johnny Depp's, that was his debut, was in Nightmare on Elm Street. He played Glenn Lance, like lancing something to make it bleed out or whatever. Okay. Now, Nightmare on Elm Street was directed by Wes Craven, who died at the age of 76. And he was born in Cleveland, Ohio. Okay. Johnny Depp debuted for Nightmare on Elm Street. And guess what else he played? You know, Johnny Depp, he played Edward Scissorhands. So he had Scissorhands, you know, and all these movies were meant to scare teenagers and kids and everything, right? So Robert Englund's birthday, who played Freddy Krueger, is 6/6/1947. Age 75, born in Glendale, California. You're not going to guess when Nightmare on Elm Street came out. It came out on 11/9/1984. Like 9/11. November 9th, 9/11, 1984. And what was the song? 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. 5, 6, grab your crucifix. 7, 8, stay up late. I don't know. 9, 10, never sleep again. See, this was my generation. These scary horror movies about killing children and so on and so forth. Also, the movie V for Vendetta, Natalie Portman was in that movie, and she shared the same birthday as Johnny Depp of June the 9th. Okay, but they're, years apart. Looks like how many years? 18 years apart. She was born in 81, he was born in 63, but they were both... Okay, so Natalie Portman debuted in V for Vendetta, and Johnny Depp debuted in Nightmare on Elm Street. Those were both their first movies. 18-year difference. Natalie Portman was born in Jerusalem. Johnny Depp, I believe, was born in Kentucky, I think. Oh, by the way, Guy Fawkes Day happened on November 5th, 1605. That's why V for Vendetta wanted to come out the day before, on 11/4/2005, so they could have it exactly 400 years after the Guy Fawkes occurrence of failing to blow up the Houses of Parliament. Okay? Okay, so this brings me to the last stretch of this video, and if you recall, in the movie Worth, they set up this fake scenario in the first 3 minutes of the movie, and it was about Caterpillar, suing Caterpillar for their Columbine harvester. Now, what do you call you know, there are Bible terms where it's calling a harvest. That means taking lives. Harvesting the wheat. Harvesting the wheat and burning the weeds. You know, Jesus used that, you know, a lot, that the believers in him were the wheat, and the ones who didn't believe in him, or who don't believe in him, are the weeds. And the weeds get thrown into the fire while the wheat gets gathered at the harvest. So you also talk about harvesting organs when somebody dies. Anne Heche, they were talking about, oh, she's going to do better. And all of a sudden, oh no, she took a turn for the worse, but she's really big on organ donation. I'm thinking that they were already plucking out her organs while she was laying in a coma on that table. They might have done it to her without any pain meds too. So I just, I don't know, this whole Anne Heche thing kind of bothered me. So if you guys watch that movie, Wag the Dog, okay, and study a little bit about Anne Heche, you know, on your own. I'm not going to do a decode on her, but I wanted to, but it just made me too sad, and then the Queen died, so I'm like, well, I got to focus on that. So anyhow, so the Columbine harvester was mentioned as a scenario. You know, why did he have to pick that? Why did he have to pick that to teach on? Columbine harvester, Kansas, right? We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto, right? Who was it? Oh, Kenneth Starr recently passed away, and he took care of the Clinton, right? The Clinton affair. Where is Clinton from? Arkansas, or Arkansas, right? Arkansas, Kansas, okay? Columbine High School. It's in Littleton, Colorado. I'm going to show you some things that are going to they're going to blow your mind here in just a minute. I'm wrapping it up. Okay? Columbine High School is in Jefferson County of the Denver metropolitan area in Littleton, Colorado. Okay? This is a Google Maps of Wichita, Kansas. This is the only plant that has sorghum in the name of it. Sorghum. Remember in the movie Worth? Mr. Barron mentioned he's from Wichita. Now, this is Wichita. Oops, sorry, I'm spelling that wrong. Wichita is just south. But it's actually the town of Colwich, okay? Pretty close to Wichita. Now, Colwich is a combination, I believe, of Colorado and Wichita. Colwich, right? Look at the streets that this place is on. West Wichita, South Colorado. Okay, this is Wichita, Kansas. Colorado. Are you guys getting it? Colorado, Columbine. What's right down the street? This is Wichita. Wichita Street is right here. Colorado Avenue. Sorghum grain. Used in the movie. Wichita, Kansas. Okay? Look at this. Wolf asked mortuaries. What was the name of the man? Charles Wolf, played by Stanley Tucci. Who owns every mortuary in the United States? The Freemasons. The Masonic lodges. They own all the mortuaries in the United States. Wichita. Okay, look. It's off the 400 highway. How many years for V for Vendetta and Guy Fawkes Day? 400 years. Okay, Southwest Wichita. There's the sorghum grain right there. Okay, off the 96. How old was the Queen when she died? 96. Valley Center. Where are they having that Kansas exercise on the 24th, on 9/24? They're having it in Valley Center. Also, they're having it in Winchester. And also, what is I don't know. I can't pronounce these words. What is it? The Kansas Request for Crisis Actors 9/24. So a false flag event in Jefferson County. Now in Colorado, right? This is the wiki on Columbine High School. Okay? Established 1973, 49 years ago. In Jefferson County. Where are they having the exercise? In Kansas? It's in Jefferson County. There's a parallel here. Jefferson County, Colorado for Columbine High School. It was the number one mass shooting in all of the United States ever. Killing 12 students and one teacher, and then the two, Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris. Those were the ones who, and you're not going to believe this. Okay, let's get off this page here. Oh, one more thing about this page. Look at the street. 6201 South Pierce Street. Okay, I forgot what I said there, but it's South Pierce Street, Columbine. So I wanted to make a note of that. You know, Pierce, like Pierce with a knife. Okay, so now this is the memorial site for Columbine. The Columbine Memorial is designed to be a place of peace, comfort, and reflection, remembering all those who were touched by the events of April 20th, 1999 at Columbine High School. Those who were injured and those whose lives were taken that day. Matthew Ketcher, Rachel Scott, Cassie Bernal, Kyle Velasquez, Daniel Rohrbo, Dave Sanders, John Tomlin, Corey DePuter, Kelly Fleming, Isaiah Scholes, Lauren Townsend, Daniel Malser, Stephen Kernow. The Columbine Memorial was dedicated and opened to the public on September 21st, 2007. Now, 2007 was, was it 15 years ago now? So tomorrow, September 21st, it'll be, what was it, 15 years? 15 years that they made the Columbine Memorial. Now, this memorial is in Jefferson County, Colorado, in a town called Littleton. The exercise that's going to be taking place in Kansas on September 24th, 2022, 4 days from today, is in Jefferson County, Kansas. Now, if the movie Worth, starring Michael Keaton, is really pointing to a 9/11 event that is going to be happening on 9/27, or it might even be 9/21. It looks like it says 9/27, but you know how sometimes they make the 7 look a little bit short on top, so it kind of looks like a 1. Maybe I'll try to find the picture and attach it, and then you guys can tell me whether that's a 1 or a 7, but I find it pretty coincidental that it's September 21st, 2007, because if you were to do September 27 of 2021, 21, okay, it would be kind of like the same as 27 and 21. See what I mean? So 6 days away from each other. Maybe we should just watch out from the 21st on, from tomorrow to the 27th. Keep your eyes on Kansas. And if any of this makes sense to you, warn people in Kansas. You know, don't let your kids go to school that day. Because I guarantee you, if Columbine High School, which it is said that, where did I write it? It is the number one. It was the number one school shooting ever in the history of the United States. And actually, there's a copycat with school shootings called the Columbine effect. So, you know, other school terrorists, other school, gunmen, it's called the Columbine effect. And it's a copycat, and they'll copycat what happened to Columbine and do that to other schools. So Columbine, April 20th, 1999, 12 students, 1 teacher, Dylan Klebold, and Eric Harris. So 15. And the students were killed. 10 of the students were killed in the library. It happened between, the cameras show Dylan Klebold and Eric Harris at, hello. Well, where am I at now? Okay, so the cameras show Klebold and Harris in the cafeteria. It records them at 11:57 a.m., okay? By the time they got to the library and started shooting, it was only like 3 minutes. And so the library was between 12:05 and 12:08 p.m. Okay? So that was a Tuesday, 4/20. 4/20. And you guys know what 4/20 is, right? That's when all the potheads, smoke their weed. They smoke it on April 20th at 4:20 in the afternoon or the morning, I guess. Okay, but the caterpillar mentioned in the movie Worth was called a Columbine harvester. Is this purely coincidental? Is this purely coincidental that in Columbine, Colorado, it's Jefferson County? Is it coincidental that the exercise that's going to happen on 9/24 is in Jefferson County? Is it purely coincidental that 9/27 and 1/23 were written on the chalkboard of this movie Worth? Is it purely coincidental that right before you see the 9/27 that he asked the first student the student said he was from Wichita, Kansas, okay, and that the only sorghum, I don't know how to spell it, sorghum, factory that's listed with sorghum in the name is in the city of Colwich, which is right near Wichita. And it is also this sorghum factory, factory is on the corner of Wichita Street and Colorado, and right near it is the Valley, what was it, Valley Park, okay, where the exercise is going to happen for a mass event at 7:30 in the morning. 7:30. Okay, do you see how the numbers are they're really adding up? Okay, this is the sorghum, Sorghum. I just thought that was a really weird choice in that movie Worth for them to say that they grow something like sorghum. I didn't even know what sorghum was. I still don't. It looks like, I don't know. What does it look like to me? I don't know, like, I don't know, some sort of, they're little, like little barley, it looks like. I don't know. You see, right here, they're like little tiny, anyway, sorghum. I didn't know what it was. I still don't. I wouldn't know how to make it if I tried. But this is where it's at, Colwich. And look at there's a 67 and a 7030. Kansas grain sorghum. I also thought this was interesting. The Kansas Farm Food Connection, which was one of the little Google Maps dots around the sorghum when I put in sorghum. This came up also. It's in Manhattan, Kansas, 66502. 2627. I don't know. Maybe that means nothing. There we go. Kansas grain sorghum. Oh, it looks kind of like the Obama sign. Look, the O coming up, the sun coming up. Obama, hope. Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention about Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, the shooters at Columbine High School in Littleton, Colorado. Eric Harris's birthday is April 9th, 1981. They're both dead. April 9th, 1981. Okay. When did Prince Philip die? He died April 9th, 2021, right? So we're looking at 40 years. 40 years after Eric Harris's birthday is when Prince Philip died. The king is connected. King Charles is connected. Prince Philip connected. The Queen connected. Dylan Klebold, he was born 9/11/1981. Now, these young men, they obviously were very tormented individuals to have to do something like this, or to do something like this. And I feel bad for all the families. My father actually went to high school in Littleton, Colorado, but he didn't go to Columbine. He went to, it was also in Jefferson County, it was Arapahoe High School. And so that when this happened, my dad was like, wow, so close to where I went to high school. And me personally, I went to high school at Marysville-Pilchuck High School. Now, Zachary K. Hubbard recently went to he went to Everett, Washington. And Marysville-Pilchuck High School had a shooting as well. So I find it kind of odd that me and my dad both went to high schools that had school shootings like that. I find it odd that I'm doing this type of research. But I want to let you guys know that if Columbine was the deadliest high school shooting in U.S. history, don't you think if they're going to do some sort of a 9/11 event, and if they're going to choose a school shooting instead of a, towers come down, I think they'll probably, they'll probably make that the deadliest high school shooting. And I'm just saying that it looks like if this is going to happen, now we can pray that God would thwart the enemy's plans and that none of this would happen. And it could very well be that way, and I think we should pray that way. But if it does happen, I think all signs are pointing to Kansas and Cleveland. I don't know, maybe there's a Cleveland, Kansas as well, I don't know. But to me, everything's pointing to Wichita right now, and Cleveland, Ohio, and maybe even Philadelphia. When that 1, 2, 3 was written on the chalkboard, maybe that means 1, 2, 3 areas. Kind of like there was 1, 2, 3 areas in 9/11. They were going after the Capitol, the Pentagon, and the towers. They got the Pentagon, they got the towers. They didn't get the Capitol. But the plane went down in Pennsylvania. So, you guys, God bless. Keep your eyes and ears open, and keep Kansas in your prayers. If they're planning on something like this, how dirty Hollywood is. If they're planning on something like this, how dirty Michael Keaton is. How dirty Stanley Tucci is. How dirty the directors are. The producers, how dirty, how filthy are they for doing something like this? Kenneth Feinberg, how dirty. There is no price on a human life. We're priceless. We're priceless. This whole movie, from the very start, the movie Worth is worthless. Because you can't put price on a human life that you did not create. Only the Creator could put a price on a human life, and He says we're priceless. So God bless you guys. I'll be praying for you guys. Oh, that's Patricia. That's Patricia Heaton, by the way, squirting Ray Romano with the shower head. She's mad at him. So, I don't remember if I showed you guys this picture, but I thought it was pretty funny. So is the heat on? The heat is on, like Glenn Fry. Is the heat on? So let's pray. Let's pray, guys. Let's pray that this will not happen, that we can thwart it. That we can thwart it with our prayers, that it won't happen. Until next time. Bye-bye.